Hi. Um, I can't sleep, so you know what that means. Tails is joining me in this video because, he hasn't been in a video for like a long time and, contracts and expectations and, some people are just more needy than others. So today Tails will be joining us for this fantastic trip into the thinking chair. Um, so I was leaving work today, about an hour ago. That's how long I've been trying to sleep for. And my assistant to the manager, okay? And um, she told me that just while I was walking out the door, okay, I was just, walking out like I normally do. And she's like, we really appreciate how much hard work you do. You know, we really appreciate that you come in on time every single day. And I'm like, okay. I genuinely didn't know how to respond to that. I was just standing there. I was looking at her like, okay. Like I literally said, the only thing that I could say in response is, that's the least I can do. Verbatim. That's what I said. Because it is. It literally is the least that I can do. Because in my opinion, if you're gonna agree to work for someone, you should go to work. It's like, is this really the level of expectations that society has reached? We truly, truly, this is a we live in a society moment because I get it. I get it. I'm the one that's always having to cover for the people who don't show up. I get it. They don't show up, and it's like it's insane. It's insane how many second chances people get in these places. Because I feel like if I don't show up for work when I'm supposed to show up, I feel like I look like a fucking idiot. I feel like I'm just a failure in myself. Because, like, there's been only like three. I could count on one hand how many times I've been late to work. And I've been working since May of 2012. That's almost 10 years. A decade in the workforce. That should be a video. That should be a video just detailing all the stupidity that I've witnessed, but we'll save that for May. We'll save that for the month of May. All right. Yeah, it's I quite frankly find it insane how many people feel the need to just, you know what? Okay, so like I agree to do this job and they put me down on a schedule. And I'm like, okay, so here we go, got my schedule. I guess I'll come 3 out of every 5 days they put me down. What? How do you expect society to function, first of all? But like I was saying, 3 times that I know of that I was late. The first time that I was ever late for work, I actually no call, no showed because I literally didn't know how to read the schedule. Because, you have the schedule set out, right? But when I went in, like I turned in my application, right, and they already had a schedule written up. So, and this is my first job, the very first job I ever had. Well, unless you count the paper route, which I don't, even though I got paid to do it and it was on a set schedule, and like I had direct deposit for it. No, no, that wasn't that. I don't count that as a job. I don't. I don't. Maybe I should, but I don't. Anyway, first real job, old grocery store. Okay. Um, I got my first schedule, and he was like, "This is probably going to be your schedule for next week too. So just do your thing." And so I did my thing. And the next week, I didn't look at the schedule. I mean, I did look at the schedule, okay? I did look at the schedule. I just literally didn't know how to read it because it didn't actually have the dates. It didn't have like the month and date like written on the week. It just had it just was plastered on the side there, and it just said like, okay, 1 week you're working this, and then another week you're working this, but it didn't specify. It didn't specify anywhere on the sheet what week it was, and he said that you're probably just gonna have the same schedule next week, and I assumed I'd get another schedule later on. So they had me down for like a Tuesday. I came in on the Monday, And then I didn't come in on the Tuesday, and they didn't call. They didn't like call and be like, are you gonna come in? Because I could have. It was a fucking 3-hour shift. I could have. I wasn't probably doing anything that day. I'm sure my mom was back by then, so I couldn't record anyway. So, though this was 2012, I didn't even record back then. Oh dear, I literally was doing nothing. But yeah, and it was. But they didn't call me. And then on Wednesday, I went in, and he was like, "So, why didn't you come in yesterday?" And I'm like, "Oh, I didn't have to work yesterday." And he was like, "Yeah, you did actually." And I was like, "Well, shit." Got off on the wrong foot on that one, but it's all good. It's all good. Another time that I was late for work, it was a Saturday. I've told the story before. It was a Saturday, all right. And after a long night of like playing Daisy till 3 a.m., I slept for a very long time, and I had to go into work at 1 p.m. Do you want to take a guess when I woke up? 1:03. I woke up and I looked over at the alarm clock and I'm like, all right. I did not bother showering. I did not bother doing any other preparation. I put on some fucking clothes and I just walked out the door, went to my car, and went to work. I clocked in at maybe 1:07 because I lived literally like right next to it and my alarm clock was fast. So it probably wasn't actually 1:03, but like I was barely late. Barely late, but still late. And like the only other time that I can think of is when I forgot to set a fucking bitch ass alarm. So it's going to happen eventually. You know, no one's perfect. In 10 years of working, you're going to be late once in a while, all right? It's all good, though. It's all good. It all balances out in the end. But yeah, but like, but like going back to what my assistant manager said, it's like, thank you for showing up. You're welcome. Fucking I'll see you later. What am I supposed to say in response to that? I would appreciate if she would be like, hey, I really appreciate how you quietly fix everyone else's mistakes so that the books don't look bad and the people in the hotel aren't mad when they're charged an extra $1,000 when they shouldn't have been charged an extra $1,000. You quietly fix that stuff, you know? You know, we appreciate how well you set up breakfast when the fucking breakfast person who gets paid to do breakfast doesn't come in. We really appreciate how well you set that up. No, it's because you come to work. Gee, thanks. Gee, thanks for the recognition. Employee of the month. I showed up to fucking work when I was scheduled to show up. It's like, how, like I said it already, how can a society function when people just don't show up for fucking work? It's wild. I genuinely don't get the mindset of someone who does this shit. It's like, I get it. I get it. It's a bullshit dime a dozen job that you could get just about anywhere. You're getting paid basically, you know, chump change. You know, there's about probably 5 different places you could get a better paying job, but it's like, why? Why would you do that? Why would you risk your reputation, especially in a small town? This is not a small town. This is not where I used to live. It's a small town, you know, like compared to, the state of New York, but like, you know, I mean, not the state. I mean, the island of New York. Yeah. I don't know, dude. I don't know, because you're gonna have a bad reputation, you know? It's like, okay, you're an oil field bitch. Like, and you're getting paid half of what you used to back when the boom was happening. But still, fucking try. You just have to show up. I've said this so many times. I've trained so many people because I'm the only one who knows what I'm doing around these places. So I'm always one to fucking train people. And literally, I tell just about everyone that I'm training, you just need to show up on time and they will love you. That's it. That's it. It's really that easy. Just show up. And if you can't make it in, call. Phones exist for a reason. And it's not to make videos. It's not to yell into them for like 300 people at most to see. No. Oh my God, dude. But it's like, I don't want to get I don't want to get political in this video because that's not the point. But it's like I see these posts all over the place like, "Oh, record profits this quarter, but the employees can't get a raise." Yeah, because they don't show up to fucking work. I don't blame them. I don't blame the bosses who are like, half you fucking people don't show up on time. Why do you deserve a raise? I get it. I get it, but it's like, wages being higher would be a good thing. However, I have worked closely enough with management to understand the ins and outs of the business, okay? Because employee wages are almost always the top expense for any business unless you're self-employed, but in which case most expenses are employee wages because it's your way, going to you. So technically it's 100% employee wages. I mean, I'm thinking there. But like employee wages is going to be the biggest drain on a company, and it's like you have no idea what it looks like until you've seen it yourself. Like I've seen the reports. Oh my goodness gracious. And it's like I do think that people should get paid more. If you're good at your job, you should get paid more, but blanket raises for everyone is a disaster because take me for example, okay? Let's say that tomorrow I got a $1 an hour wage. $1 an hour raise. One singular dollar. Well, if I work 80 hours a week, or in 80 hours in a paycheck, that is an extra $80 per pay cycle. Okay? Okay, let's round it up. Let's round it up for simplicity's sake. Let's say that I get a $1 raise and it gives me $100 per week in extra money. Okay? So that's me. That's just me getting an extra $100 a week. Now, you'd take 52 divided by 2, you get 26. That's how many pay periods there are in a year if you go by 2 weeks. So that, and for just me, this is $2,600 a year that I'm making extra. This does not count taxes, but for the sake of the argument, taxes don't matter because this is all employee wages, and the taxes come out after it's been taken out of the funds. So yeah. So that's just me. 26 pay periods times an extra $100 every pay period. That is $2,600 extra. Now that's just me. If you were to give your entire staff a $1 an hour raise, there's like 20 housekeepers alone at this place, and that doesn't count everyone else. Let's say, I don't even know the exact amount, but I want to say like probably 40 at most employees. I guess that's not full time. Let's say it's, just if it's, if it's like 25 full-time employees, or everyone adds up to 25 full-time employees. Well, that's 25 times 2,600 for 1 year. That's wages. That by $1, increasing just $1 an hour for everyone if they work, 80 hours every pay period. You wonder why everyone always says that fucking, if you increase minimum wage, that's going to increase the price of a Big Mac. You're going to be paying $20 for a Big Mac. I hate that line. It's not inherently wrong, but I hate the fucking line so much because it's so pretentious. Who buys Big Macs? Why would you want all that extra shit on it? Just buy a plain double cheeseburger. It costs less, and it tastes better. Gotta think with your brains, okay? When you're living by minimum wage, this is the kind of shit that you learn, all right? Yeah, but still, you understand what I'm trying to say. Tails understands. He's still in the video, He's still here, so he understands. He's smart. He's got that IQ. But anyway, it's not feasible. It's not feasible. So then that's when you have to, it's just like, um, it's not supply and demand. It's kind of supply and demand, but for like employees, it's costs and benefits and stuff. It's like, how much can you pay people so that they do work, but you can still survive? And it's like my bosses are surviving just fine. They're living it up. In fact, they could afford to give some people a raise, some people, but not everyone. And it's like when I was working at the old hotel and I was working over on the restaurant side and I was finding out, okay, so there's some people that have been working here, since the place opened. They haven't gotten a raise since like their quarterly or like their first employee um, evaluation. They haven't had a raise since the Obama administration. But then I realized that I walk in there and they gave me a raise just to go over to the restaurant side, and I started I started at a higher wage just because they had no one else to go over there, and this lady still hasn't gotten a raise, and it's like that's fucked up. It's like, you know, at some point, I'm like, I would like a raise, but there are so many other people here that deserve a raise way more than me. And it's not like just being altruistic or anything. Because like, if I'm getting paid enough to live comfortably, like I'm not gonna go bargaining for a raise. Like I could be like, okay, yeah. I mean, but on the same token, I remember they were starting guys over there at like lower than me, and then like so like they're just hiring people off the street to who just work these jobs. I talk about that. I think I talked about this in a video from way back then. And they're just hiring people off the streets, for less than me. So it's like, okay, so these guys are paying me extra because they know that I'm good at the job, and they know that they can't get someone like me anywhere else because getting people to fucking show up for work is a miracle in itself. Let alone someone who actually is good at said job. So it's like it's understandable. But then because we were so stretched for employees during the first wave of the plague, they raised the starting wage to what I was making. Okay? And I feel like an asshole whenever I think about this because I was getting paid, we were getting paid way more than most places in town, which is why we were getting so many new employees for like 2 weeks and then they'd fuck off. But but then I think about it and it's like, okay, so I do the best job out of basically everyone. Management acknowledges this. They gave me a very reasonable wage to be working this job. And some motherfucker who can barely tie his shoes has stumbled through the door, and you're giving him the same rate as me, and he can barely do the job. That's one of the reasons I left. I won't even lie. That was a moment. That was a moment that I realized maybe the anti-work subreddit isn't wrong after all. Yeah, so I mean, but it's like I mean, I understand they were desperate, but the amount of fucking money that they spent in like training. Whenever you're training someone, you have your two regular cooks, then you add another motherfucker, and they're getting paid so much because you desperately need the help, and like they're gonna fuck off within a week anyway. It's like they're gonna fuck off within a week anyway. It's the worst part about it. It's like they're getting paid exuberant amounts and to just get trained in, and by the time like their training days are up, they've already fucked off to another state. They've already fucked off. It's just like that's why I hate the communists. Just call them what they are, KG. Just call them what they are. They're not watching. They're not watching. And even if they were, they would have clicked off by now anyway. So, they would have been distracted by whatever nonsense is getting posted on Twitter. They're just scrolling through Twitter. They're barely paying attention. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be this big of an asshole, but like seriously, it's like It's not easy being a fucking manager. It's not easy being the boss of a company. Do you have any fucking idea how much work these people put in? You know, there's so much effort that has to be put into being someone in a position of power. That's why I've never taken it. I don't need the fucking stress. I have student loan payments. I have enough stress in my life. Hey, Daytona 500s this week. There's some fucking stress. I can't wait to be miserable for the rest, all the way until November now, because NASCAR is back. And you know that I'm going to watch it, even though I fucking hate it and I don't want to watch it. But I'm still going to fucking watch it anyway, because I fucking hate myself and I wish to, it's just like BDSM, okay? Without any of the pleasure. BDSM without any of the pleasure. That's what it is. Anyway, that was a tangent. What I'm trying to say is that it's not easy being in a management position. And I'd like any of these fucking chuckle fucks who are going around prancing around like, oh, they could absolutely pay everyone more $10 an hour more. Absolutely. Look at the profits. Look at all the profits without taking a look at any of the expenses that are related to running a business. I'd love to see them for one day. One day, let's have like undercover boss, undercover communists all around America get to run a business for one day, not even one day. I'd say like 8 hours, an 8-hour shift as a manager with all of the bells and whistles and corporate watching over it, just being like, there's no leeway. Corporate is like in the room, like jotting down notes just with their glasses down here, like, yeah. I would love to see that. I think that would make a great TV show. TLC, where you at? Anyway. Yeah. So basically, I got a compliment from my assistant manager that I didn't know how to take, and it's spawned a digression onto why society will never continue. Society is so screwed. Your Truth Social's coming out. I think I'm going to get on Truth Social. I did not get on Gab. I did not get on Getter. I did get on Parlay, or Parlor, whatever they call it. But I haven't used it since it went down that one time. So, yeah, they got him. The banks won again. But I think I'm going to get on Truth Social. Because the truth is, socialism is bad. Good line. That should be the slogan for the site. No, seriously. I don't know how to take that compliment. It's just like, because, yes, I know I show up to work. That's what I agreed to do. What else do I say? Thank you. Thank you for your non-existent expectations and completely ignoring all the other contributions that I've brought to this company. I appreciate it. It's like, we get along really well, though. It's like, I get along with both of my bosses very well. Probably because I show up to work every day. It's really that easy. It really is that easy. I have to drill this into everyone. Just like this is, okay, all the kids out there, all of the teens, show up to work. You can work for one day a week at like a Chinese food restaurant, okay? You can deliver Chinese takeout in your 80s Toyota, okay? You can do that one day out of the week, 1 hour out of the week. Just show up. Show up to work. You will go so far. You will have so many managers like, oh, we love you so much. We don't love you enough to give you a raise, but we appreciate that you come here. It is that easy. I mean, it's not a bad thing to have the managers like you. You get preferential treatment on the schedule, for example. I didn't even ask for the days off. They already knew which days off I wanted. It's amazing. It's amazing. They gave it to me. They fucking gave it to me. All you have to do is show up. Tails. All you have to do. Are you gonna, when you get your first job, because I don't even know how old Tails is at this point, are you gonna show up to work on time? Are you gonna do it? Come on, after this entire video that I've made, extrapolating for 24 minutes and 44 seconds, are you gonna follow my advice? Tails, you fucking bitch. See, this is why he's not in any videos. This is why he's not in any videos, because he's a fucking recalcitrant, angst-ridden teenager. Probably. I don't know. At this point, it's anyone's fucking guess. What was the point of this video? Good question. I don't know. But does that really matter? You still watched it anyway. Why do people watch me? Why do I have subscribers? Why do I have 15 memberships? Shout out to the channel members. 15 channel members. The blue join button that's probably right here. If you press that for only $2.99, you have access to like 7 different emotes that you can use in the comment section of this very video. I mean, I pay more for Discord Nitro just for emotes. And it's every month, $3. Do it for Dale. All right? Do it for Dale. $3 every single month for emotes. And that's it. That's it. Anyway, I don't fucking know what the point of this video was. The point of this video is that I'm tired, and I'm still tired, and I probably still won't be able to sleep for like another hour after I upload this. So oh my god, dude. Oh my god, dude. This has been Kamikaze Games recording a video at 8 a.m. because that's when I sleep. When my body lets me. Okay, there's your money shot. There's the money shot there. Thumbnail. YouTube. This is the thumbnail that I want. Okay. Good job, YouTube. Good job, YouTube. I'm sure that's the exact moment that it auto-generated a thumbnail, and it won't look ridiculously stupid. Promised. This video should have ended 5 minutes ago. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in whatever I do next. Bye.